So Chirad, he said this, it's amazing. Chirad means a long time. And a Sanskrit verse by Shukamuni says that, oh, don't cut down our long cherished hope to have your association. So we don't have a whole lila to expand by importing, or let's say importing this verse into our own lives as sadhakas, and entering into the kind of exchanges that Vishnunath revealed in his commentary about the eternal lila. But this idea that, of this prayer, oh, give us your mercy, O Aravinda, Prasida Parameshwar, oh Supreme Controller, oh Aravinda, oh beautiful Aravinda, I fell in love with you. I'm trying to love you and serve you like the gopis. I'm trying to come to you like the gopis. I'm trying to meet you like the gopis. And I've had a long-standing desire. Asham Dritam Chirad. How long-standing? As long as you've been standing in Krishna consciousness, that's how long you've been carrying and maintaining the desire to see Krishna, to be with Krishna, to serve Krishna, and to please Krishna. And these are some of the symptoms of the Bhava Bhakta. So the gopis are in the same position. They're standing in Vrindavan in the Ras Leela. So we're standing in Vrindavan on the side of the Ras Leela in the same mood. Srila Prabhupada writes a small commentary also. And Prabhupada explains on this verse 33, no one is made happy, no one becomes happy in this material world just by virtue of having as Prabhupada said, a so-called father, mother, husband, son, daughter, and friend. Although the father and mother are expected to protect the child, there are many children who are suffering for want of food and shelter. There are many, many good doctors and physicians in this world, but when one of the patients of one of those doctors dies, there is no doctor who can revive him. There are many means of protecting oneself, but when one is doomed to die, none of the protective measures can help. Prabhupada is also entering into the mood of the gopis. And this entire, now let's back it up. Now Prabhupada is in his, I don't know how many forms he has, I can't authoritatively make comment on that. Different devotees have different revelations about that, and that's their treasure. But in this particular junction, Prabhupada, like Vishwanath, is entering into the minds and hearts of the gopis and speaking like them. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, in this verse 33, which is translated 10:29:33, expert transcendentalist, Kushala, always direct their affection, Rati, toward you, Sri Krishna, because they recognize you as their true self, Swa Atman, an eternal beloved, Nitya Priye. So Krishna is the Atma of our Atma, and he's the beloved of our beloved, and he's our own beloved. Swa Atman Nitya Priye. They recognize you, Sri Krishna, as their true self and eternal beloved. What use do we have for these husbands, children, and relatives of ours who simply give us trouble? Therefore, O Parameshwara, grant us your prasad, Parameshwara prasad, mercy. O Aravinda, please don't cut down our long-cherished hope to have your association. So, Srila Prabhupada is seeing that he's seeing and hearing and repeating that the gopis said this. This Srila Prabhupada, adopting the mood and feelings of a gopi, speaks the reply of the gopis in his Tika to chapter 29, verse 33, in the pages of his book called Krishna Book. The gopis speaking here said, no one is made happy in this material world, it's a repeat, by having a so-called father, mother, husband, son, daughter, and friend. Although the father and mother are expected to protect the children, There are many children who are suffering for want of food and shelter. There are many good doctors, but the patient dies. No doctor can revive him. There are many means of protection, but when one's doomed to death, nothing can protect one. And without your protection, Sri Krishna, all the so-called sources of protection simply become sources of continued distress. We therefore appeal to you, dear Lord of all lords, Parameshwara, please do not kill. Prabhupada, it's quite to the point, because Chindya also means killed, or cut down, because that's, sometimes they use that term. He was cut down by a volley of bullets from a, whatever. So cut down is a colloquial phrase to mean murdered or killed. Please do not kill our long-cherished desires to have you as our supreme husband. Well, basically, in his own words, Srila Prabhupada is rephrasing the verse, but this is actually his tika, because we already read his translation to the verse, which is a little different. And we'll read his translation again too, so you can see the difference. Srila Prabhupada translated 10:29:33. Then the gopis told lotus-eyed Krishna, please do not cut down our please do not discourage our long-cherished desires to have you as our husband. Any intelligent man who cares for his own self-interest reposes all his loving spirit in you. Persons who are simply misled by the external energy and who want to be satisfied by false concepts try to enjoy themselves apart from you. The so-called husband, friend, son, daughter, or father are all simply sources of material misery. So this is actually the word-for-word translation. And the purport of Srila Prabhupada is basically rephrasing as a gopi the verse and then adding some more. And one of the characteristics which we see in Srila Prabhupada's translations or of the gopis' words, they're highly charged with philosophy. Because Srila Prabhupada, this is his special contribution. He's always reminding us of the existential or the actual tattva position of Krishna and the gopis to keep us on. We're in the lila, but we're always being reminded. Whereas the other rasacharyas, their emphasis of their angle of vision in the words is more on the rasa aspect. Like Vishnath is quoting rasa shastras and falling in love. But you see in this translation and commentary by Srila Prabhupada, he's reminding us many times of important philosophical points, that the Boma Ijadi, that the fallible soldiers, I forget the term, the fallible soldiers of husband and wife, there's no protection, there's no real friends, they're only so-called husbands. So Prabhupada is giving us the lila and giving us the rasa vichar, but he's also always reminding us and charging up our philosophical batteries and keeping us strong in our philosophical understanding of reality. So all these acharyas are working very harmoniously and sweetly together to give the full picture of Krishna's lila. So that's why we like to favor the ancient acharyas like Sridhar Swami of 1200 years ago and all the way up to the contemporary times of 50 years ago with the acharyas of the great Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada.